So is that why your nickname was General Butt Naked?
Yes, because I was naked, because I fought naked.
A lot of people would drink or do drugs before fighting?
Yeah, most of my boys, then we drain the blood from the innocent child and drink it before going to battle.
So you kill the child?
Yes.
And then drink the blood?
Yeah.
Hello everybody, my name is Zach Moss and this is the Zach Moss Show. So essentially today I'm going to be reviewing Vice's documentary on the cannibals in Liberia. It's going to be probably the most graphic video you've seen on YouTube in the last year. Little background on myself, I study US security policy, so I'm going to give you guys context and facts as I review the accuracy of this documentary and just a little commentary here and there. Sources, description box below if I didn't already say it. Anyway, here we go.
This is like a civil war on steroids. It's a post-apocalyptic Armageddon with child soldiers smoking heroin, cross-dressing cannibals, systematic rape. It's total hell on earth.
Oh god, maybe this wasn't a good idea.
We here at Vice have been fascinated by Liberia for a long time. It's America's first and only foray into quasi-colonialism in Africa. It started as a back to Africa movement for freed slaves. In fact, the Constitution was written in Washington, and Monrovia, the capital city of Liberia, is actually named after President Monroe, and it became a state in the 1840s. So the freed slaves go back to Africa and promptly enslave the native Africans based on the plantation method they had learned in the US, which lasts for about 140 years until Samuel K. Doe, the first native African-born Liberian, was elected. But this doesn't last very long. Why? Because an American-educated, and some would say American-backed, rebel leader named Charles Taylor and his buddy Prince Johnson came from America and overthrew him.
We are not a military group here. I'm not a soldier. What we seek to do is to destroy these military dictatorships around Africa. And that's that Charles Taylor virus. If the civilians can throw out the army, wow, we are in trouble. Well, I love it. We will fight to the last man. I will get weapons from wherever I have to get it. If the Pentagon's got some, please give me some.
Despite reports that the government wants talks with the rebels, the violence goes on.
The government and people of this country assure you that the armed forces will protect them and that the rebel will soon be eliminated.
Well, that's actually pretty ironic. So long story short, the president of Liberia, so he was tortured and killed and apparently eaten by an American rebel commander, all of which was apparently on tape. And that is how Liberia turned out to be what it is today. So here's a part of the tape of the president before he was actually eaten. Again, a little graphic. So just a little heads up on that. I think this was on live television actually too. Is that a Paps?
So Charles Taylor finally gets elected with a campaign slogan that reads, "He killed my ma, he killed my pa, but I'll still vote for him." And it worked.
What the fuck?
He gets elected.
Oh, Jesus.
But he's so corrupt that soon after, there's a bunch of warlords fighting for control over Liberia, the country devolves into civil war, and things go from bad to severely fucked up. Liberia's been in the news a lot lately because Charles Taylor is on trial at The Hague for war crimes. But we wanted to know what happened to all the other warlords. So we contacted a Canadian journalist who lives in Liberia named Miles Esty, who's kind of a Kurtz-like character, tall, skinny skeleton guy, who's had malaria more times than he's had hot dinners.
Jesus,
he said
shots fired.
He could get us access to all these ex-warlords. So we said, great. We got on a plane and we flew to Liberia.
Oh my god, this shit's fucking crazy. I have nothing to say so far. I have some facts, but I'm not going to be spitting them yet. I haven't watched this documentary in a bit.
When you first get to Monrovia, the first thing you think is, it's really hot.
Well, no shit.
It's really hot, it's really poor, and it's totally chaotic. In fact, when we went to pick up Miles, he had just gotten out of the hospital with malaria.
Classic.
He gets in the car and he says, "Are you ready to go? We're going to Baboon Town in the red light district to meet our first general, General bin Laden.
So here's the funny part about this. So his name's General bin Laden because he thought it was scary and didn't want to be identified for war crimes after the war started. But there's actually 2 General bin Ladens, and there's even a General Rambo, and then there's obviously our boy Butt Naked here. And then there was General Mosquito because everybody was scared of malaria. And then the guy that was fighting General Mosquito, his name was General Mosquito Spray. Like, you actually can't make this shit up. So now Vice they're planning on bribing a police station, different people there, in order to let a warlord out of jail just so they can interview this person. So what could possibly go wrong?
Some guards are saying you can go see him. Other guards are saying you can't go see him. And we just have to sit there and wait. And eventually, after sitting there for a while, we realized, oh, we've got to grease some palms. So we gave them some money, and bang, we were back into the jail, and we could talk to bin Laden.
They're just gonna go meet this dude.
Hey, bin Laden.
Oh my God.
How are you?
My friend Shane.
Shane.
I'm Bempsey. Yeah.
Nice to meet you. We're gonna try to get you out of here now, and then we can go back.
We can go back and establish the program. Very next.
Okay.
That will be fun.
All right. We're gonna do it right now.
Now.
Okay.
God bless you.
Okay, let's go. Let's go.
Oh, Jesus, how sketchy is this? So that's bin Laden? Oh, there we go. That's bin Laden. Okay, all right. Now we're on the same page. What the fuck is that?
We went in there. I don't know, we're being followed by the police right now.
No shit.
Yeah, we might have to change tapes or do something because what we do is we shoot cards, and if they come, we can give them the tape. There's nothing on the tape.
You can have a blank tape in there?
Yeah, we do right now. We should just get out of here.
No, now go to the warehouse.
I go to my warehouse. Don't
All
worry.
that begin there.
I'm going to take my tip. Yeah.
Everyone, yeah, our boss man.
Okay.
Don't worry on that. Photograph what you want to do here.
Okay.
This is my compound. You are free.
Okay.
No police come here to do anything.
Dude's got the energy, man.
You were
He's got a
modest.
warehouse.
Yeah.
Oh, shit.
Our trip is getting progressively heavier.
We will go on top of the building.
Yeah, that'd be good.
We go on top of the building.
Okay. I'm kind of a little bit worried that the police are gonna come get us right now.
Yeah.
I gave them a fake name and fake number.
Oh my God.
It's one of my law.
These dudes are the ballsiest human beings.
Security, right?
Okay, nice to meet you. Nice to meet you.
I want you to see for yourself.
Oh man, that's weird. That's awkward.
We're happy that you both are here.
So maybe you could explain a little bit about, so first of all, you became known as bin Laden during the war.
During the war.
And then after the war, now you're sort of trying to help people buy carpentry and buy karate.
Karate.
Did he just say karate? He teaches karate?
After the war, I see some friends going astray.
Yeah.
You know, so long I was a general, I'm gonna make sure and bring them together. So
Yeah.
I do both carpentry and masonry.
Yeah.
And I got men that are in my workshop who do carpentry work, and I got the field who do martial art.
He does. He does do martial arts.
Who need the government attention to
And
our program.
this area, this is red light here?
It's a red light Gorbachev. This is red light.
Is there a lot of crime in red light?
Yeah, it's wet time. This is red light.
Red light.
Now it seems like everyone hanging around knows how we got him out and for how much.
Oh no.
That has gotten around.
Everybody wants money.
It's a hot topic of conversation.
Oh, dude, they're
I don't think
fucked.
Shane knows that, so he's nice and calm on the screen,
Oh, he doesn't even know?
keeping the stress level a bit higher than usual.
So Miles comes over, stops the interview, and says, "We have to get the fuck out of here now." And bin Laden looks down and he goes, yeah, those aren't my guys. You guys should really go. So bin Laden gave us an escort, and a couple of his guys got us through the crowd to the car, and we got the fuck out. Okay, let's go. Let's go, let's go, let's go, let's go, let's go, let's go. Holy fucking shit. But that was out of hand. We gotta get out of here. There was some heavy duty vibes there, boy. So after meeting and being freaked out by General bin Laden, we wanted to see what the UN and government were doing to rebuild Liberia. So we met a local journalist named Nagbe, and we asked him, and he said, "You want to see what the government and UN are doing? I'll take you to West Point."
Oh my God, these guys are going to West Point? Okay, so these guys are crazy. So the red light district, that looked like it was pretty bad, but West Point is the worst place of the worst. We're talking all the child soldiers, all the rapes, all the drugs, the cannibalism, and everything else. It mostly comes out of, this is like the main area that it comes out of. So these guys are like, hey, this is sketchy. Let's up the ante and go to the sketchiest spot of all, which is West Point.
So West Point is the worst slum in Liberia, which makes it one of the worst slums in West Africa.
There's shit everywhere.
Which makes it one of the worst slums in the world. And when you first get
Probably
there,
shit.
the first thing you want to do is get the hell out. It's open sewers everywhere.
There you go.
Shit, piss, garbage, everything mixed in, and the stench is overpowering.
Oh my
Yeah,
God.
this is West Point. People live here like this for years, man. It's more or less a microcosm of the city. Virtually all the major tribes living in Liberia living in West Point. Now, West Point happens to be one of the most devastated part of the world because the people here don't have toilets, and because they have no toilets, they use the beach.
There you go. Oh my God, yeah, see, there's the shit. I studied this a while back, and the kids playing this stuff. Oh, there we go, perfect, yeah.
They're not taking care of the community, you know.
But I mean, one of the first basic rules is don't shit where you eat.
That's it.
That's
but
the number one rule.
Yeah, but the people violate that rule, obviously.
Needless to say, in West Point, health conditions are foul. Diseases everywhere. Malaria, infections, and AIDS are rampant.
Holy shit. That guy sounds like he's a freaking 80-year-old chain smoker. How old is that kid? 13?
Electronic shops.
12?
Yeah.
It are just cover up.
Cover up for heroin.
For heroin.
Wow.
It's a big business.
We heard stories that during the war, the rebels would go out in boats with diamonds and trade the diamonds for weapons and
Hell was wrong with that kid?
It was a lot of Colombians and Mexicans.
It did happen here.
We find it interesting because cocaine and heroin are very expensive drugs.
Yeah.
So we were surprised to find heroin here. Usually in poorer countries, there's you know, speed or meth or like things you can make.
Pure time
Why is
coming
that?
here. The Nigerians.
Nigerians bring it.
Classic. Blame another group.
Oh
God. Fucking kid's voice. Jesus Christ.
I don't want to smoke.
Seems like a lot. I don't know a lot about drugs, but I'm pretty fucking sure that's a lot of shit. So that, I believe, I'm pretty sure that's heroin. Oh my God. That's how the kid's voice sounds like that. Sad.
Do anything to smoke. Give me a call. See your way.
So pretty much to give you guys a little bit of context here. So a lot of times when they smoke heroin, they balance it out with cocaine. And I guess that's like how you kind of balance out. But what this kid's probably going to be doing, I don't know if it's going to show it or not, but it's called nupping. So that's essentially where they start to nod off, but they can't actually sleep. And so they'll constantly kind of be doing this little like this nodding gesture. And that's why they use the coke to try to balance it out. But they said smoking coke. Now, I'm not a drug expert, but I don't think people usually do that. Anyway, here's the brothels that Vice is going to be going to next.
That are used as brothels. And you can pay between $50 to $75 to $100.
Liberian dollars?
Liberian dollars.
So how much is that?
Less than $1.
So because of the poverty, a lot of women have to become prostitutes.
Yes. Or we like to use the term sex worker.
Classic.
Sex worker.
We can go this way.
It's politically correct right there.
No money, I just sex trade to get money. Almost such a way to feed them. If 1 or 2 women, we got a part die in the war. $50, $30, $20, the fuck, just to eat something. I'm a homosexual where I can say I can eat raka insect, I can eat mango. I you know, customary.
Well, we can take the corner, we'll show you the brothel we're going to go to tonight.
Yeah.
But we're not going to do anything else.
You can just
we'll just pass through, all right?
No small child.
So now we're in a brothel. We're going to come back tonight. It's not open right now.
Condoms here.
We got some stains here, some blood
here.
and shit. Not very clean.
Towel used for wiping.
This is pretty good. How do we get out of here?
That's fucking terrifying.
The legacy of civil war in Liberia is staggering. It's the 4th poorest country in the world. 50% of the country is illiterate. 70% of the female population has been raped.
So that one's kind of hard to confirm, that study, because it's a select small pool interviewing small people from a specific region. So it's not really that credible, to be fair.
80% of the population is unemployed, and a large percentage of the population has eaten human flesh.
Till the real meat. Every taste you like to eat it every day. You want to see some piece?
It happens a whole lot. Even in Liberia now, whenever you see there are bodies found somewhere or maybe drowned in the river, genital parts are taken off. Some legend have it that the female genital is preparing a way where the man can put it in his wallet and carry it around.
Dude's laughing. They're putting genitals
as a source
in
of
wallets.
power, you know, and some people believe that when they do these things, they have power over their colleagues, you know.
Oh my God. Okay, so pretty much Vice is going to talk to one of the warlords who's responsible for these atrocities, who also fought in Liberia's 3 civil wars. His name's Rambo. So you're going to meet him at his old headquarters out of town and see what the fuck he's got to say, apparently.
When did the hotel stop working?
1990, yeah.
Because
when
of the war
came.
Yeah.
And at that time, I was in the army as an AFS soldier, master sergeant. Oh, those days, the place was so beautiful, so nice.
Jesus, talk about post-apocalyptic. Fuck me.
Country destroyed. Beyond all reasonable doubt, there is not easy way to fix it. Everybody's trying to run. Bodies were laying all over the city. Yeah. So overnight they go and do their butchery, boil and cook. They have some of the human parts in the waiter they carry around and sell. Yeah. Yes, it happens. Many people were not normal because the rebel leaders those times used to send drugs. The cocaine, the bubbles, the doogie, the marijuana and all of that. So the dog things wrong because of the drugs that they take.
I wonder if anybody
so you were
just
one
eats
of the
those
ones that came in
casually
to take out
when they're
Taylor.
sober.
Yes.
And then at one point, the American government came to try to get you to go to Iraq.
What the
yes,
fuck?
the people send people here because you know Liberia, let's say back days we used to call small America.
Yeah.
And all our training that we took is on America.
Well, this turned.
Yeah.
Strictly America.
America.
So we
The
know
hell?
ourselves as a reserve soldier of America. So then there, America have problem. We're supposed to be second in motion to help.
Yeah. And so when there was Iraq, it was like, okay, let's go. We can help.
You fine.
Yeah. So why?
That motherfucker's pointing the gun at his
The
friend.
government denied us from going.
The government wouldn't let you go.
Yeah, they
yeah.
disbarred our whole process.
So if the rebel forces wanted, they could take over tomorrow.
In less than 2-3 hours.
2-3 hours.
Sure.
Wow.
Jesus.
I'm an ambassador of war.
Right.
So if I see firing coming, that will not be part of it. I will be part. Because I can't look at no one kill me like that. Me, I'm a straight soldier, babe. And I love to be soldier until I die.
And do you think there's a possibility of that happening?
Yes. When
Yeah.
UN is not here, the possibility that I can happen.
Yeah.
Yes.
So they're waiting for the UN to bounce.
So what Rambo is saying is, there's still plenty of guns in Liberia, and him, or someone like him, can take over Monrovia in 2 hours if the UN leaves. And the UN is scheduled to leave next year.
So this was in 2012, so the UN was scheduled to leave in 2013, but interestingly enough, they actually didn't leave till 2018 after the Ebola outbreak. But after they left, it was extremely difficult to find any sort of information on Libya because the UN was like, oh yeah, nothing's wrong here. Don't worry, don't pay attention to them anymore. It's no big deal. It's fine. Everything is fine. And they just left. And so now Vice is going to yet again up the ante by going back to West Point, but at night, which is literally the freakiest time to go there. And then afterwards, we're going to meet the cannibal general butt naked right afterwards. So it's like, hey, what could we do to possibly make the situation worse? Well, let's just up the ante and just make sure all hell freaking breaks loose. So what's the worst thing that could happen?
Driving into West Point at night is pretty freaky. There's no electricity grid in Monrovia, so it's pitch black.
It's kind of like if a tree falls in the forest, does it make a sound? Like if a fucking van goes missing.
That dude's going crazy. He's losing his fucking shit, you can tell.
Hit it on the wall.
I mean, I don't blame him.
So it was the craziest, fucking scariest drive ever. Down here we got a little bit lost in the port and you couldn't see anything. There's no electricity and then you just see like people wandering around, fucking shit, piss, fucking yelling at us. Ah, we want money, we want money.
It's fucking
insane. There's no lights in here. We're gonna go in here. This is the brothel.
That was a joke.
We're gonna see what's
That's tiny. Oh my god, that's tiny. Does that dude bend down to get through that door?
A lot of dudes are coming in now. It's crazy.
So good.
I don't know where we're going. Straight.
Motherfuckers just walking around the worst place in the world with no end in sight. Oh wow, that's a creepy light.
That room looks. This is the exemplification of how.
I went to a place in Israel like that actually. It was like Israel, Syria.
I don't know what happens in here,
blood?
but I don't want to know. Wow.
Look at blood.
What the fuck goes on in here, dude? Wow.
I'm laughing at how fucked up this is. It's like, what else can you do?
Well,
dude, I wouldn't touch that wall.
We were here a little bit earlier. There was used condoms and blood-stained sheets.
At least they
and now
use
they've
condoms.
sort of done it up. So we're gonna interview some of the girls, see what they have to say.
All right.
We have a code for when something's freaky. We go, it's nar nar.
Nar nar. Oh Jesus.
Nar nar. One of the things we had heard since we arrived in Liberia was about the alleged sexual misconduct by the UN staff. So we asked the girls at the brothel about it.
I see UN guys having sex with small children. Have you seen it?
Yes. The jail has sex with you. Throw you off on the area they beating from. I received some beating and off on it.
So I actually looked into sex workers and the UN and whether or not there's any sort of information on the allegation, but there's actually nothing available, weirdly enough. And so it's kind of hard to figure out whether, you know, these allegations are true or not. But anyway, so now we're about to see one of the sex workers and who's on just God knows what, and she's going to get really aggressive with everybody.
As soon as the girl started screaming, a bunch of heads popped into the room. And then when she started screaming about money, everyone was going, money, 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 where's the money? And at that point, Nagbe said to us, you better get the hell out of here. So we sort of took off through the tangled alleyways and just tried to get back to the car.
We're getting the fuck out of here right now.
When we got to the car, our driver, who was also supposed to be our security, was so freaked out that he peeled out, nearly hit a group of people that had surrounded the car. And if you hit a group of people down deep in West Point, that was it. It was a death sentence. They would have tore us apart.
That was very fucking heavy.
These are just dodging bullets left and right.
It's like, whenever I get into weird situations, I just try to envisage myself explaining it to my dad. So Dad, just to recap, worst slum in history, heroin, hookers, white, fat men.
Sounds about right.
He'd probably say,
Thailand.
You're a stupid little fucker. You deserve for that.
Oh, Jesus.
And to make things even freakier, as we're pulling out of West Point, Rambo texts Miles and says, not only does Butt Naked want to do the interview, but that he's waiting at our hotel for us.
Oh my God.
Yeah, now we're going back to sanity. To hang out with an ex-cannibal, multi-murderer, who's now staying in our hotel and decided not to leave. Because if we're there, he wants to hang out.
How much did these guys get paid?
Meanwhile, he knows I have tons of money. And he's on the run because people want to kill him. Should I just leave my door open, General? Do you want to come in?
These guys better get reimbursed very well for this video. Oh my God.
You mentioned about sacrifices. Can you give us maybe an estimate how many civilians you think lost their lives when your group was
Probably like
fighting
50,000.
war as a direct result?
It should not be less than 20,000.
Yep.
Now we are very nervous to meet General Butt Naked, and he's very nervous to meet us because he's had several assassination attempts against him, and he wants to meet us and vet us before he'll okay an interview. When we told him about our escape from West Point that night, he laughed and he seemed to ease up. And after that, he asked for a phone, he called Rambo, and it was on. We asked the general, now known as Joshua Blahi, why people were trying to kill him, and he told us that it was because he had been recently pardoned for his war crimes. And when we asked how he got pardoned, he told us it was his conversion to Christ and his becoming a man of God.
Because when I got converted, it was a household news. Everybody in Liberia, General Butt Naked got converted all over Africa. Because the first question people ask me, they say, Joshua, don't you think you decide to be Christian so that you can escape persecution?
Not a bad idea.
Because I could have gone back.
I said no.
Gone back.
I found Jesus.
Several times I was
of course.
And I told them, if anybody want to kill me, you only kill me because 2 years ago I fought you. Or you don't like what I'm preaching. But I cannot go back to my vomit. I have left the war and it was all over.
Found Jesus.
So we talked with Joshua late into the night until he told us to get to bed because the next day he was going to show us his Liberia.
Oh, God. What could possibly
go
wrong?
So in the morning, Joshua Blahi took us out, and the first stop was the area within Monrovia that he used to control during the war.
Right here, this is where I have my crucial chair.
Yeah.
I sat in the chair. My boys are all around singing. The elders bring an innocent child.
Yeah.
And we open the back of the child, thrust out the heart.
Alive?
Yes. And we cut it to pieces and distribute it to the boys.
Yeah. And what does that do?
Just make them brave and charge them for the battle with the belief that bullet will not affect us or get them. This last thing was still on my hand. When my boys went for water, just before they got
So I'm going
back,
to save you guys a little bit of time here. So pretty much what he's going to be explaining is like, oh, one day I was walking around and I turned around and then there was Jesus and he asked me why I was such a piece of shit and why I like to eat people. And he told me that I can either repent or die. And then that's the gist of it right now. And so he's going to be getting into that. And then right after this, he's going to be getting into essentially like what his people did before they got in a fight and then why he, I don't know, fought naked, I guess.
A lot of people would drink or do drugs before fighting?
Yeah, most of my boys.
Yeah.
Then we drain the blood from the innocent child and drink it before going to battle.
So you kill the child?
Yes.
And then drink the blood?
Yeah. Okay.
And why would you fight naked?
It was believed once I'm naked, no bullet
So you get your
can
dick
affect
chopped
me.
off or shot.
Once I'm naked, I could disappear.
Yeah. Okay, so my question real quick is, where exactly do they go to hide from the war? You know there's going to be hiding spots. Well, I have an answer.
This is the Central Monrovia cemetery.
Cemetery.
After the war, the ex-combatants went into crime and they were looking for hideout. Nowhere
Oh,
for them
fuck
to
no.
stay.
They go to the cemetery.
So this is the cemetery where after the war, there was nowhere to live. So the people would come in, empty out the graves, and live in the graves.
What do they do with the dead bodies afterwards?
And maybe up to about 4,000 people lived in the graves.
So a village in the graves.
See, all these are empty.
It's a very heavy vibe. Empty graves everywhere.
Well, that doesn't seem sanitary.
We were just at lunch. We were talking about, we ordered some ribs. And you said, no, I don't like to eat flesh. And I said, why don't you like to eat flesh? And you told me the story about coming back from Nigeria. Could you tell us that story?
Specifically, one time, I was very hungry and I saw the only thing was around was sticks, dry meat.
Oh,
when I
that's
took the
human.
first bite, I noticed it was human flesh.
Yeah.
So I wash up the pepper to be very sure, wash up the pepper from it to get the taste. And I got a taste, it was human, alarm.
You did not call the police.
Came and arrested.
No, you didn't. You
Yeah.
finished it.
And I told them, well, I was one of the generals in Liberia.
No.
And this is my name, and this is.
You bought
what we
another
did.
one.
I ate it several times before, though I'm
But I'm now
converted
greedy.
Human flesh.
Yeah, a lot of times. So they discovered. So they saw the pictures, and they went to the internet, and they knew that okay, it's truth.
Yeah. What would you eat?
Some people eat the heart.
Yeah.
Now for hunger,
This dude's already got like a recipe
people
book.
eat around here.
Yeah.
And because it's softer, it's quick to daunt.
We're talking about eating human flesh in a graveyard. It's a bit weird.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So we can go.
I want to eat some African stuff.
Oh my God, that's like the perfect harmonization of like cringy and eerie wrapped in one cluster of a story.
Well, hanging out with Joshua, I started to get a bit of Stockholm syndrome because he's charming, the churches are nice, there's not as much danger, and I started to like him. But as he was preaching, I thought to myself, this guy's killed tens of thousands of people. In fact, he's probably killed the relatives of the people in the church worshiping and adoring him now. And I'm thinking to myself, what the fuck is going on?
Good question.
I just want to say thank you for having me in your church. Praise God. And I'd like to say thank you to Joshua Blai for all the good work he's doing. And hopefully we can help. And hopefully we can show what we're doing here in Liberia, what you're doing in Liberia.
Eating people.
And we can help make it better and bring some more awareness to what's happening.
Make it great again.
I have to admit that when Joshua handed me the mic, I had no idea what I was saying. At that point in the trip, I felt like I was on acid.
The world is changing. The mistakes of our fathers cause lesser harm to the mistake that we make to our children. That is, if we fail them, stand to your feet.
And as I sat and listened to Joshua preach, I thought about the fact that the UN is leaving in less than a year. And Rambo had told us that the generals are ready to fight. They have the soldiers, they have the guns, and they're living in abject poverty. And I wondered, if that happened, would Joshua stay with God?
Nah.
Or would he return?
Nah, he's eating
being
people on
General
fucking
Butt
sticks.
You can deliver your generation. You can deliver this nation. You can deliver your community. You can deliver your tribe.
That's why I don't trust pastors.
This continent. Somebody shout glory.
I'm surprised he can yell with his clothes on.
Let us pray.
Okay, well, that was something, wasn't it? To conclude this, let's go over what Liberia has been up to since the documentary. So in 2017, Liberia elected a soccer star as president. His name was President Way. I think it's like W-E-A-H, Way. I think it's Way. And then, like I already talked about, in 2018, the UN decided to actually leave. And then there's not like a lot of information in terms of like what's actually going on in Liberia now, because it's not like reporters just actively go there. So it is pretty hard to say. All I know is that it is worse off economically, more than likely now. I mean, that's kind of the reports that are coming out. It's just saying that it's like it's worse off. And then you, on top of that, you have the pandemic that's going on right now. So overall, that is Liberia. Now, I feel like I could use a drink, or like 6.